Joining us this morning is the analyst behind that note, Melius Research's Ben Reitzes. Ben, we talked about your note today with Kramer in the 9 a.m. Pretty fascinating. I mean, you're essentially suggesting anybody who thinks they're behind is not an adept long-term student of Apple culture.
That's right, Carl. I think you have to go back in time and realize this company has a history of convincing a lot of leaders to make apps or do something with them while they perfect the ecosystem for which it's consumed. Go back to iTunes. Steve ran around talking to a bunch of the music companies saying, hey, look, we got this vision for $1 a song. And lo and behold, iTunes saved the music industry. His coercion, his convincing skills really helped change the world then. Then he did it again with the iPhone, where they didn't necessarily make all the apps for the iPhone. They made some, but they made everybody else's apps better and made it so you can enjoy them. I think they're doing the same thing in AI. Yes, they're talking to Google, but they're talking about having Google be one of the many models you have access to so that this new kind of app store can take advantage of AI. And I think they're probably doing it again. And Tim knows how to do this.
So when do you think we begin to get clarity on the end game? And how do you think prices of the stock adjust? Over what time period do you think?
Well, I think that in June, we should start to see them lay the groundwork for this new app store, for how it's going to work with AI, how you can buy AI apps through the app store. I'm sure Apple will have their own apps as usual, an AI assistant. Hopefully they upgrade Siri, which is probably in need of that. And then we'll start to see how this could flow through to the services line. If there starts to be a narrative that services can accelerate growth, that'll be really helpful. And then we think there's a huge upgrade cycle coming for iPhones, probably in 2025, where the silicon and the software is really optimized for processing AI at the edge on your iPhone so that you have a no latency, excellent experience. In terms of the stock price, look, most people know it's a really tough quarter because of China. But then the stock may be able to find its legs afterwards when we go into this conference in June and then out of it if they can do a good job saying what their services will be.
Ben, I wanted to ask, with the latest EU antitrust probe and obviously hitting quite a few tech companies, not just Apple, but adding to the DOJ case, whether you think that, conclusions of those cases aside and exactly which way they go, but can that distract Tim Cook and management from other things like this AI initiative you're talking about, or is that really a not significant risk?
Oh, it is a risk. I think that Tim's got to really show that he doesn't get distracted here, and I think he will. I think when you look back at Microsoft, and the big analogy over the weekend that everybody wrote about in the news is that Bill Gates said that he took his eye off the ball from mobile. He took his eye off the ball from music, by the way. And obviously that allowed the ascension of Apple and some others to happen. I think that Tim, look, they're going to be fighting this. It's going to take years. It's not really an area where I would have a particular edge. I do happen to think that there's a little less teeth in this than maybe some other things the government has done, but that's tough to proclaim. I think that as long as they have an AI story that comes out with services seeing increased revenue and bringing more to the platform, we're going to be okay. And that's what they need to do. I think they're already making changes within the App Store, within the way that they're going to do text messages, et cetera, that are already remedying a lot of the stuff the government said. But we think that as long as they come out with a good AI strategy, we'll probably be in the right place when we come at the end of this.